A session that I had with a client this morning really emphasized an idea that I have been talking about for a little while now, which is not every single exercise, not every single set needs to be taken to failure for you to see a certain desired result. So, Shannon is training for half marathons, marathons in the next coming months. So, the program that I have him on right now is one that's really working on more of his athleticism, building strength, building power, building balance, and stability. The exercises that I'm going to show you today are from his upper body explosive day. And every single one of these exercises, none of them, I want him taken to failure. And I'm going to break down each one, why I chose the exercise, and what exactly I was looking for with this. But again, have that thought in your mind that none of these exercises are being taken to failure, because again, that's not really the point here. So the first exercise in this whole circuit is the second one that we have done for the day. The first one was just some basic balance, stability, and mobility work that we did for his shoulders. So this is really like the first working set of exercises that we're doing. Started off with some seated face pulls. So right off the bat, why I'm having him seated instead of standing, and it's because I really want him focusing on his upper body only. I don't want him focusing on having to stabilize his hips or his legs or anything like that. I really want him focusing solely on what's happening through his shoulders and his rib cage as we're going through this movement, which is why I'm having him sit down. So as we go through it, if you watch, not a single one of these reps looks like he is putting a ton of effort into, which is perfectly fine because that's not what I want out of this. I just want those shoulders to be warmed up, primed up for the next couple exercises that I'm going to be showing you. So the second exercise that I had him do is a dumbbell bench press, and it was one with the intent of really trying to create some tension as he pulls the weights down, and I want him trying to explode fairly quickly as he extends back up. But again, we're choosing a weight for him that we can move fairly explosively. And as you watch through the set, again, none of these reps are getting fairly close to what we would consider failure. So again, he's going down super slow, and I want him driving up fairly quickly. Now, again, this isn't going to be anything that's super explosive because we're actually saving that for the next exercise. But what I'm having him do is kind of prime those muscles of the chest to be able to create some more explosive force for the following exercise. So again, none of those reps are being taken to full failure. We're not even really getting close to it there. And then the third exercise in this round are explosive push-ups. So this is where we're really getting that explosiveness going. So again, really focusing on actively pulling himself down and then really driving those hands through the bench, trying to create some power through that upper body. And then as he lands, of course, focusing on landing fairly soft, but keeping a nice, solid, rigid core as he comes down. But again, really pointing out none of these exercises are being taken to failure. Okay? So obviously, depending on the goal that you're really trying to hit, depending on the phase that you're in, I'm all for taking certain exercises to that failure point, especially if your goal is going to be more of the hypertrophy side, and especially if you're working with exercises that are going to be more on the externally stabilized side of things. So like machine chest press or like chest support rows, something like that, where you really can push the intensity of those exercises without worrying about, in the case of the people that I work with, injuring themselves, making sure that they can continue to come back day after day so they can continue to make progress. All right, so not going to failure though, especially in this particular circumstance where we're really trying to generate more power and it's all leading towards an end goal, which is not this particular session. The end goal is the races that he has coming up in February, March, and April. Okay, so Right now we're building towards those dates, and everything that we're doing in the gym, the goal isn't the work in the gym. The goal is still trying to get him ready for what's going to be happening in those coming months with his races. All right. So again, don't worry about going to failure. On every single exercise that you do, you're still going to make progress. Understand what the intention of that exercise is, where it fits within your overall program.